Hey, what's up YouTube? You're looking at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 9.7 inch. Samsung India has just announced this tablet. In this particular video, I'm going to show you what's in the box out here. We're going to have a first look at the tablet. So that's the tablet. You can see 245.8 mm and it's 4G LTE enabled. It's extremely thin at about 5.6 mm. The iPad Air 2 is about 6.1 or 6.2 mm. We have the gold version here. You get it in three colors: black, white and gold, depending on your market. On the back side you have some quick specs here, and that's the marketing information and pricing information. The MRP is 42,000 in India, but I think you'll get on street for just under 39,500. That's the model number SM815Y. So let's go ahead and quickly take off this sponge and then unbox the device. Yep, so there we go, and that should be our first look at the Galaxy Tab S2. Nicely wrapped in this, I think, recyclable pouch. That's the gold version. Well, it's not as pronounced a gold as let's say the S6, but we'll come back to the device in just a bit. What you have here is that the SIM tray opener. You also have some quick start guide here, and then your warranty. You have the wall adapter, which is 2 ampere output, round pin, and then your standard micro USB 2.0 cable out here. No earphones. We did not expect any earphones as well, because generally with the tablets you do not get the earphones. So those are about the content of the box here. We're going to keep the box aside, and now let's take a look at the tablet here. Wow, it's very light and extremely thin, only 5.6 mm. Yeah. Now talking about the weight, this guy weighs the LTE version, and in India you only get the LTE version. It weighs 392 grams, which is, by the way, only 50 grams heavier than the iPad mini 3, which the LTE version is 341 grams. And in turn, this is almost 50 grams lighter than the iPad Air 2, which is about 441 grams, the LTE version. So this guy sits right in between of the iPad mini 3 and the iPad Air 2, and it feels really nice. And also it's all metal, so definitely much more premium look and feel than the previous generation of premium tablets from Samsung. That's the Galaxy Tab S series, which had a much larger screen here, 10.5 inch, but then that was more of a 16:10 aspect ratio. This one has a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is identical to the iPad Airs, and also should be much better for reading books and other stuff. And also what I like is that the bezels are not too thin here, so you have space to rest your fingers whenever you're reading. Otherwise you tend to give too much pressure on these 4 fingers if you do not have much to hold here. The iPad mini has almost has a very thin bezel. Yeah, even the iPad Air I think should have slightly smaller bezel than this one. But anyway, yeah, so that's the 9.7 inch Super AMOLED screen, 2048 by 1536 pixels of resolution, your 2.1 MP fixed focus camera, and also there's one sensor that I think should be the notification LED light, and then your typical Samsung home key there, also a recent key, and the back button. Nothing much on this side. On this side you have the speaker grill, stereo speaker grill there, 3.5 mm jack, micro USB 2.0 port. Here you have a noise cancelling mic, and then your volume rocker, power button, and space for your SIM as well as for the micro SD card. On top again there is nothing. Behind you have the 8MP autofocus camera with, as I told you before, an f/1.9 very fast aperture, and it has a rather weird texture around the lens, or is it just a plastic? Yeah, I think there's a plastic on this. But one downside is that we expected an LED flash with this. Without an LED flash, it generally gets slightly murkier under low light. But anyway, so you have these are the clips to attach it to its covers. So let's go ahead and switch on this. It's very smooth. Wow. And also the TouchWiz is the latest one, so it's extremely light. You have the usual Google Android apps. There you see. You also have the Microsoft apps now, all the Microsoft Office app. Plus, you also have OneDrive storage with this one. And wow, nice. Yeah. Let's go to the settings and see how things look out there. First, about device 5.0.2, so it does not run on 5.1.1. remember, there's something to take note of. Storage, out of 32 GB you get 25.19 GB, but of course you can have an SD card of up to 128 GB of capacity, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Let's see the RAM. So we're gonna go to Application Manager and then Running. So 1.9 GB is free out of 3 GB, which I think it's good. It's much less than 50%. Very nice matte finish on there, very subtle gold color. That's not gonna hurt your eyes, that's not gonna be very loud, but it's subtle, nice, easy on eye gold color. I also like this particular part here. Why? Because that will give you that much more grip around here in case. So we're going to give you a full review of the performance of display, how the reading experience, media viewing experience on the tablet is, in a separate video. But for now guys, that's the brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 9.7 inch, and it's as glossy and a fingerprint magnet as ever. Thank you.